And we are live. Welcome to episode 26 of TLC Tech Learn Coffee. I am your host along with Nancy Minicozzi. I'm Lisa and I teach 5th grade in South Monterey County.
And I'm Nancy. I'm an ed tech coach in Northwest LA County.
So just a reminder of our podcast focus, it's accessible on your schedule. So we have a 15-minute format, and it's a chance for you to get to your questions answered either on our website or on our YouTube chat. It's personalized mobile PD. You choose the focus, listen to where you want. Contact us if you know someone who would be a great guest. If you enjoy our podcast, and we hope you do, please support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Just search TLC Ninja Teachers. You can also look for us on iTunes, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcatcher. And while you're there, rate us. The more ratings we have, the easier it is for others to find us.
So for today's coffee fact, I thought I would share something that had to do with birthdays since we just had our birthday. We taped our first episode March 29th of 2016. So TLC Ninja is officially 1 year old. If you like Starbucks, you can get a free drink or something to eat to celebrate your birthday. And you also get 15% off at starbucksstore.com. But here's the trick. You have to be a Starbucks member, a Starbucks Rewards member, at least 30 days before you can redeem your treat. So happy birthday to TLC Ninja. Tonight's guest is John Miller, who will be talking to us about Minecraft in history class. So John, tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do, please.
Okay, well, thanks for having me on. I'm a fan of the podcast and listen as often as I can. Well, I'm a 7th grade history teacher, and that is world history here in California. And I've been teaching for about 25 years. And I've taught 6, 7, and 8, and I've taught every subject in 6, 7, and 8. And I really do like history. It's fun, it's challenging, and I get to be a little goofy once in a while. So I enjoy that aspect of it. I also love the Google stuff. I'm a Google innovator, and I found my love with Minecraft. I fell in love with Minecraft about 6 years ago, I guess, and that journey's taken me into many different directions, and one of them is now I'm a global Minecraft mentor and trainer. So there you have it. That's a little bit about me.
Well, that's exciting. Global Minecraft mentor. That sounds really fun. So how do you use games to teach history?
Well, my students, as Lisa knows, because we share many of the same students, she passes them on to me. They need experiences because our community is pretty isolated, and our kids don't have a lot of outside experiences, unlike others. And so I try to bring that to class, and I try to bring that in everything I do. I love role playing, and I love to try to get the kids to believe that there's something else, to be creative, to turn on that gene that we all have, and they do, even though they really don't think they are, that creativity gene. And so I've got into games a few years ago, exploring that because I could see that it was something that was really attractive to kids. And I've played games most of my life, not as hardcore as others, but I've always enjoyed them, and I've always enjoyed playing them with students. So I thought, wouldn't there be a great way to merge the two? And ultimately I found Minecraft. And what Minecraft lets you do is it's referred to as a sandbox game, because you get to go in and it's a big giant box of sand, and you get to build whatever you want and do with it whatever you want to do with it. So I like to design worlds that are history based and that are story driven. So my students then get to read a little story a backstory about some characters and what's happening to them in a historical narrative, and then I build that scene out. And so the kids, after we read it and break it down and do a close reading of it, we dive into the world where they get to experience it. And what I really love about it is the kids get to experience it in their own way. The stories can be linear, but as the year progresses, they're less and less linear, and the world gets more and more expansive. So the students get to explore really what they're interested in that world, because I have a lot of characters in there they can meet, or a lot of interesting objectives for them to accomplish, or tasks. And I'm not as much interested that they're doing it in a very sequential way. I like to see that they're combining what interests them the most and bringing it all together in some absolutely fabulous writing. This game has enabled the kids to become really proficient writers, I'd say. They don't think they can write at first, but because of those deep immersive experiences that they're getting with Minecraft, the creativity is extraordinary, and their writing is absolutely wonderful. So I get dozens and dozens and dozens of pages of writing, whereas many kids at the beginning, if it's a paragraph or two, they're done. But that's the one big advantage of Minecraft, is it's such experiential learning that I don't have any problems in class with behavior or kids not being interested in anything.
Well, that sounds great. So it's very experiential. Is there any other reason that Minecraft is such a popular classroom resource?
I think it's so popular because it's accessible, and it's something that most of our students have played. There's goodness sake, there's many versions of Minecraft out there. There's so many, it's hard to keep track of them. For like, Minecraft can be played on every single device, and it can be as cheap as just a few bucks up to 26 is the most expensive version of Minecraft. But our kids are coming into our classrooms jazzed, and they want to play, they want to participate, they want to collaborate, they want to share what they're creating in the worlds that they're creating with us teachers. And I think that is such an extraordinarily powerful moment for educators, is if we can step aside and sit next to a kid in our desks and play a game where we're either equals, or the kids or know what they're doing, and we're just following along. You're building a very different kind of relationship with the student, a very deep relationship, and that's, I think, drives the learning even more.
And it must be very empowering for the student to be able to show you these things as well.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Because we will do stuff in class, but they also want to do stuff at home and bring it into the classroom to show me. We're constantly, I get the bonus of having a whole elective class at the end of the day that is Minecraft focused and build team focused. So I throw real heavy duty challenges at them. And they're learning how to build on a massive scale. They're learning how to interact with other team members, and they're learning how to specialize and showcase their work. And so it's something that every kid can do, even if they have very limited experience. That comes through, that creativity, and I just love seeing it all.
So that sounds really wonderful. I'm sure a lot of people listening are going to want to start using Minecraft and other games in their classrooms after listening to you talk about it. How can those people get started with using games in the classroom?
What I one of the things I like, and how I started with Minecraft, or even before Minecraft, was I just have I've been teaching long enough where I can remember that day that the projector showed up in class and we were able to use it. It wasn't mounted in the ceiling like they are now, but we bought, the school district bought projectors that were like insane. They were like $5,000 or $6,000, and you could put them on a desk and they could show on your map screen there. And I can remember being excited about that, and being able to find a game and to use a game in class for the first time. And that whole class experience is how I recommend that teachers dive into that kind of a game-based approach, is find a game you like, and that the kids would enjoy, and bring it in and project it as a whole class experience. And I use those for writing primarily. And as writing prompts, there's a game that I started with called Machinarium, Machinarium, and it's out there. It's on every device now. It's been out there a few years. It's just a point and click game where you have to you play this robot who has to basically solve a mystery in the robotic world of Machinarium. And it is a beautiful game. It's very it's simple, yet it's also, the puzzles can be quite difficult to solve, but you work your way through it. And all along, when I started playing this game, I thought this is perfect to bring into the classroom, because it's storytelling and it's story driven. So I use that, and I recommend that other teachers use it too for that purpose. You can look at character development, you can look at conflict as the story unfolds and the kids are solving problems. You can look at sequencing, working on transitions. So as a writing prompt, the games are fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Well, that sounds good. We have some comments. People are watching. So somebody said, Garrett Zimmer says, the power of experience is key. Kids really get to meet the heroes of the story. And then there was also a question: have you experienced students who are not wanting to participate and/or who don't like Minecraft?
I have, usually at the very beginning of the year, I get some kids that are very tentative, and I'm not going to force a kid to play by any means, never. So what I generally do is, okay, just let them watch and follow along. They can do an alternate assignment. They can do an assignment that kind of parallels the Minecraft world that they're in. We can explore other games if they're interested in that. But honestly, by the end of the first month or two, the kids are taking steps into the game. And by at least halfway through the year, everybody is in it. I approach it as, since a lot of my students don't really play Minecraft to begin with, I approach it as a teaching tool as well, because I get to kind of have to teach kids how to play Minecraft to begin with. And that's a challenge, but once they get the hang of it and they see the creativity and that it's really low pressure, they dive right in.
Well, that is great. And I like what somebody else commented about how using games as writing prompts is amazing. So that is really good. And I see that our timer is up. So I think we need to see if you have any last minute comments, any last minute advice, or just any closing thoughts for our viewers.
The advice is, don't be afraid. Ask your kids what games are really popular, even if it's a very simple Chrome-based game that is free. You don't have to go out and buy something super fancy. But dip your toes in and try a game in your class as a whole class exercise, and watch how much excitement is generated from it. And then you can dive deeper and utilize that to explore some content, but especially writing. That's
great. Well, thank you so much for being our guest. Thank you to all the listeners out there. If you enjoyed the show, and of course you did, why wouldn't you? Please leave us a comment to let us know. And please join us again on Monday, April 17th, when our guest will be Ro and Mo, better known as the Tech Fairies.
And remember, we are always looking for guests to share the great things that they are doing in their classrooms. If you know of someone who fits the bill, or maybe it's you who'd like to share what you're doing, please go ahead and visit us on our website, tlc.ninja, and complete the contact form and let us know. Thank you, and we'll see you in a few weeks.